Hi, my name is Tony and today I'm going to show you how to make a tempeh stir fry from plantbasedonabudget.com. In a small bowl or a large cup, we're going to mix all the ingredients for the sauce, starting with cornstarch. This is 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to include the full printable recipe down below. Then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of water and mix it together. I'm using a fork, but if you have a small whisk, that works as well. When you're stirring, you want to make sure that your fork or whisk is touching the bottom because that's where all of it sticks. Then I'm going to set that aside and whisk together a bouillon cube or the better than bouillon equivalent. We're looking to do 1/4 cup, so if you have vegetable broth or vegetable stock, that works as well. You're wanting to mix it up in hot water. You can either boil it on the stove or do what I did and just put it in the microwave for a bit until it's really hot. I think I did 30 seconds. My better than bouillon is stuck. And once that's all mixed, add it to the cornstarch mixture. Make sure you scrape the bottom and then whisk that together as well. Then to the same mixture, add in 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sugar or agave. I'm going to use the same tablespoon because I forgot to bring another one. And that's okay because it's all going into the same dish. If it's not sweet enough for you, you can do a taste test when you're done mixing this together and see if you want to add in either another 1/2 tablespoon or another full tablespoon if you like your sauces to be sweeter. I know that if you're used to something like a teriyaki or a barbecue sauce, they do have a lot of sweetener. So you can do a taste test and see what you like, but I'm going to stick with 1 tablespoon. Then I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. If you're not a fan of oil and you don't want to add it, it will still work. You'll just miss that extra flavor. And if you like a bit of spice, you can also add in a splash of sriracha or some red chili flakes. I'm going to add in just a little for a kick. Then mix everything up until it's fully incorporated and set it aside. Now I'm moving over to my pan. I've got the pan heating on a medium-high heat where I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of a neutral oil. This calls for something like an avocado oil or vegetable oil, or if you use canola oil, and we're doing 2 tablespoons. While my oil heats, I wanna show you the tempeh that I'm using in this dish. It is the kind from Light Life, and I got it for $3.50 at Sprouts. I've also picked it up for even cheaper at places like Grocery Outlet if you have one near you. I think they may also sell it at Winco. This is a very high protein option if you are counting your macros. This is 18 grams of protein per serving, 6 grams of fiber per serving, and it is 150 calories per serving. The serving size of this is 3, so that's a lot of protein and 1 brick of this tempeh. My husband actually travels with these. He'll pick one of these up if he knows he's gonna be on a plane all day and it's gonna be hard for him to find protein, and we'll snack on it. They also have one, I think that's a bacon-y flavor. It's a tempeh bacon. I don't know if you have ever had that sandwich from Whole Foods, which is a TTLA, tempeh, tomato, lettuce, and avocado. I think that's what it stands for. It's really good. And you can also make your own tempeh bacon with this. I have a couple recipes. If you want me to share, I'm happy to. Add your tempeh. I'm gonna put it over here where the oil is not, just so that it doesn't splatter on me. It appears my oil is not that hot anyway. I'm gonna move it around so that it goes into the oil. I want it all to be coated so that it starts to turn a nice golden color. When working with tempeh, I often cook it similarly to tofu, and it is a nice breakup in texture. It is also soy-based, so it's not a difference there, but it does have a different texture because this is fermented soybeans. We're gonna cook this for about 5 minutes. This is what we want our tempeh to look like when it's a golden color. It's okay if not every side is golden because we're gonna continue to add in our vegetables and there will still be more opportunities for it to golden, but you can see how everything's starting to golden. For videos, that's how I do it. When I'm at home by myself, I just keep doing this every couple minutes, and I would do it for maybe 6 minutes and hope that as many sides get brown as possible. And if they don't, that's okay. I have said this a million times, I'm such a lazy cook. And for me, I like to cook, kind of, but I love to eat. So everything that I do is a means to an end in the kitchen. I am cooking this because I am hungry and I really want to eat it and it's going to be delicious. And that's the portion that I really, really love. Love sharing food that I've made, eating food that I made. Better if I can eat with someone. Okay, this looks good enough to me. I'm going to now add in my onion, 1 red bell pepper. I'm sorry, I forgot to show you the onion. 1 onion, this is just a chunk. 2 cups of frozen broccoli. I'm using frozen broccoli because it's already pre-cooked and it's gonna go by a lot faster. It's not only pre-cooked, but it also takes the time away from the chopping and the washing and the rinsing and all the things, the drying, and it just makes life easier. Plus, it lasts a long time in the freezer, so you can get to it when you get to it. Give it a nice mix. I'm gonna let it cook for about 5 more minutes, stirring so that I prevent burning. If you want to avoid the chopping of the onion and the bell pepper, you can also get a blend. You can even get one of those frozen mixed veggie blends. I know that they sell a ton of varieties at places like Walmart. It's where I generally shop. And they make life pretty easy. This part also depends on how crispy you want your vegetables. I like mine a little bit softer. My husband likes them with a crunch still. So if you have a preference, you can lessen the time or add more time if you want it to be crunchy or even a little bit of a crunch. You can also pick up a vegetable and give it a try and see if you like it. Make sure that you cool it first. You can use tongs. Don't do what I just did and grab it with your fingers. My fingers aren't as tough as someone who works in a restaurant, but I will say over the years they have toughened up with the heat. Same with my mouth. My tongue takes in more heat now because maybe I've abused it a lot. Now I'm gonna add in 2 teaspoons of fresh ginger. If you don't have fresh ginger, you can also add in a little bit of ginger powder. And I'm also gonna do 2 garlic cloves, which if you're using jarred garlic is gonna be about 1/2 tablespoon. And give those a mix in there. You can tell that my burner, because it's electric and it's on a tabletop, it doesn't get that hot. And you can see that because there's still liquid in here. If I were on my gas stove, some of that liquid would have absorbed from the bell peppers and the onions. And it doesn't matter either way. I'm just pointing it out that cooking on an electric stovetop or a tabletop burner is often a slower experience than turning on your full heat gas stove. Another way to cook this is to cook the vegetables and the tempeh separately. I sometimes do that, depends on how much time I have, but mostly I try to take the least amount of steps as possible in a recipe and do it all in one pan. This recipe is so versatile. If you don't want to make your own sauce like I am, you can also do the vegetable portion and add in a little bit of teriyaki sauce or whatever other store-bought sauce you have. All right, I'm gonna add in my sauce that's homemade, and I'm gonna let it cook for about 5 minutes. You can see that the sauce is thickening up, which is what we wanted. That's coming from the cornstarch. And I'm not overcooking the vegetables because I want them to retain that vibrant color and their texture. So I turn the heat off and I'm gonna remove it from the heat completely and put it in a plate. And I'm just gonna move everything over. I wish it's pretty heavy or else I would flip it over. I'd probably make a mess if I were to do that, but I'm gonna scoop everything out and I'm gonna serve it with some rice. I made another video today for the Instant Pot Jasmine rice on Food Sharing Vegan, and I'll link them both, so if you wanna try your hand at both recipes, you can. All right, it's now light enough to do this. And looks so good. This is such a perfect weeknight meal. It has a lot of protein, it's high in fiber, and it is very tasty. It doesn't require a lot, especially if you're using a bag of mixed vegetables, because then you don't have to prep your vegetables. And if you don't have tempeh, you can swap in tofu. If you don't have yellow onions, you can put in red onions or whatever color bell pepper you have. If you don't want to make the sauce from scratch, you can use the store-bought sauce. The possibilities are endless with this meal, and it's a real winner, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. I'm putting the printable recipe below. If you give it a try, please let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching today. Hope you have a good day. Bye. I'm back because I forgot to show you my garnishes, which really elevate the meal even further. And those are sesame seeds. If you have them, you can either toast them or use regular. And you can add in as many as you'd like. I'm gonna add in my whole scoop. And green onions. Green onions really make this dish super tasty. And I'm a big fan of onions, so the fact that it has 2 different kinds of onions, I am not mad at that. Hope you enjoy.